Hey, welcome to Robbie Lobby. We have a special guest today, and I'm sure you've seen him because his video is the most popular one in our channel. Scott has been playing tennis for a very long time.
Very long time. I started when I was 9, and I'm 75. Somewhere in the 2000s, I made the decision that I wanted to go to a national tournament.
That was also a time when the equipment also changed big, right?
I was playing with an 85 square inch Donne 200 McEnroe.
Okay. Wow.
85 square inches. And then Prince came out.
Huh.
And people who were not very athletic became decent tennis players because of the equipment.
Yep.
I was a purist, so I did not move to an oversized racket. I was playing with a 90-inch until 2017.
Wow. And in your mind, oversized is probably 100 or 105.
104.
104 is
104,
oversized.
100 to 104.
Yeah.
I've learned how to play doubles with a 110. And that's because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
I need a little more technical help, I guess is the right term.
Yeah.
But so anyway. So yes, that transition, and I never did go to an oversized racket, but I didn't move to different composite rackets because they were so much better than what I grew up with. When I grew up, a racket weighed a pound,
Yeah.
16 ounces,
Yeah. Wow.
80 square inches on the head.
Huh.
And if you were in the baseline and you were going to hit with pace, you swung with everything you had. Because if you didn't, it wouldn't hit the net. It would dribble.
Yeah.
It was very much hand-eye coordination and athletic endeavor, and very few people played. It was very difficult sport.
Even when we watch the old tapes of even the greats like Rod Laver and all, it looks so slow, but that's probably the number one reason, right?
Oh yeah, with a wooden racket, 120 was about the fastest serve you could ever hit. And we were using animal gut strings. Synthetics came out when I was in high school. Then they started to experiment with aluminum, Spalding with a smasher. Then the Wilson T2000.
Yep.
And I got one of, I guess, the third or fourth smasher in the state of North Carolina. That's where I grew up. And I bent it in practice. They didn't make them strong enough. And in an overhead, and I wasn't that good a player, but it literally folded around the tennis ball.
Wow.
And they all did. And they took them back and then redid them and re-engineered them and then brought them back out. And Jimmy Connors had the 2000, which was a very whippy steel racket.
Okay.
In college, I played with a Sterling, which no one ever remembers. Yeah. The gentleman who invented the nightlight
Okay.
was an engineer, very successful. He made millions with the nightlight. And he was a tennis player. So he applied his engineering ability and built a tennis racket. And it was a double steel band and with separators, pins, and it was a fantastic racket.
Okay.
And the pins broke all the time. And so he had to take it off the market. But at that time, we're talking in the 60s now. We are talking in the 60s. It was, for the time, it was space age. And it was an incredibly good racket. It wasn't as whippy as the 2000 was later. New materials were coming out, but it was still the same size. Still 80, 85 square inches. And then tennis changed.
Completely.
And McEnroe and Nastase and that generation made tennis cool. If you ever get a chance to really watch Jimmy Connors play, and if they hold the camera on him, watch his interaction with the fans. He talks to them all the time.
Yeah.
He's, oh, God, how can I hit a ball that bad? Jiminy Christmas, can you do better than me? Come out here and hit the ball. He is an amazing entertainer. And he would do 10 or 15 seconds of monologue with the fans. He goes back, serves. And because of that interaction, tennis just exploded. It was amazing, the growth in tennis in the 70s and then into the 80s. And it really was Jimmy Connors, in my opinion, Jimmy Connors and Ilia Nastase. And that generation, everybody wanted to play tennis. Atlanta, it just became the sport. Socially, you would join the team, even if you didn't know how to play. Because social interaction was on the tennis court in Alta. It was a fantastic time.